Now here is a new one by the Dua brand, and this is a brand new Gourmand fragrance. So if you're a fan of Gourmand creations, you like your fragrance to smell on the sweeter side of things, you have to try this coffee and caramel based fragrance. It also has patchouli and praline and I think a little bit of peach and coconut. It's a pretty complex note breakdown. It's called Salty Choco Coffee. I'm going to be giving you my comprehensive thoughts on this fragrance in just a little bit, so make sure to stay tuned. Now before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on Salty Choco Coffee by the Dua brand, I'll try to break it down as best as I can. I'll tell you about the smell, the notes, performance, comparisons, longevity, all that good stuff. But please, let's start things off by you hitting subscribe. It would mean so much to me. Hit the bell and also give this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. It would really mean the world to me. So here we have another Gourmand from the Dua brand, and you know Dua releases a lot of fragrances. Every week it seems like they come out with at least 10 or a dozen fragrances. Perhaps that's a bit of hyperbole. Sometimes they come out with fewer fragrances than that. But truth be told, they are very heavy into their gourmand releases. We're talking about fruity scents, we're talking about cotton candy scents, we're talking about milky lactonic scents, and then they also have some sweet boozy fragrances. But they have experimented with salty fragrances in the past and even chocolate fragrances in the past. Belgian chocolate truffle is probably one of their most popular original creations to date. And here is yet another original. I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on this brand new release in just a minute, but let's go ahead and start things off with a quick look at the presentation first. Now, right in the opening of this fragrance, you are certainly going to get the namesake of the fragrance. It is salty. You do have this caramelized personality. You do definitely have that coffee ingredient that is in here. And the graphic, I think, does it justice in terms of conveying what it's going to smell like. Now, of course, looking at the note breakdown and seeing notes like coconut and peach, and there's even labdanum, some resins in the dried down, a hint of patchouli. As I smell it, I get the patchouli and I get this ambery warmth in the dried down, but I'm not necessarily inclined to say that I'm getting too strong of an amber feel. While it is a bit warm and you can definitely perceive the resins, I also have to be honest in saying that this is very heavy on the caramel and the chocolate. It comes across rather strong, and I think it's because I've already smelled a few other chocolate and caramel fragrances from Dua, and I'm like, oh yeah, this tinkers around with that same DNA. So the chocolate in here is super rich, super sweet. It has this strong gourmand presence about it, and I love it. What about occasions? Great for a date night, night out on the town. If you're going to be at a bar scenario, perhaps you're wearing this when the weather is a bit cooler outside. And this is one, and let's face it, extrait de parfum concentration, 33% concentration of aromatic compounds. This stuff is going to be strong, especially given the fact that a lot of the ingredients included therein are base notes. So you don't need to do more than 5 or 6 sprays with this one. However, if you're an oversprayer, to each his own. But this is a beautiful, rich, tasty, gourmand fragrance. That salty presence is highly addictive, and this is one that you absolutely have to try. And I love the fact that Dua utilizes this DNA quite often, but from release to release they still manage to do it in a unique fashion, which I think is quite challenging. Or, you know, I haven't done it myself, but I would predict or suspect that it's quite challenging. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, kind of like I said before, Dua has tinkered around with this DNA in the past. However, it is safe to say that this stuff is super unique. It does smell quite different from their other fragrances, but you can tell that there is something that's kind of creating that unity or that unifying element among the various caramel offerings on the original spectrum from the Dua brand. Longevity, 12 plus hours. It's extrait de parfum concentration. Projection, fantastic for the first hour and a half of application. It does radiate beyond an arm's length. It became an elbow's length scent right around hour 8 or 9, I want to say. A skin scent right around hours 11, 12. I mean, it's an all-day fragrance. Versatility, perfect for the colder weather. You can dress it up or dress it down. Perfectly unisex. And I think this one would appeal to anybody of any age, but I can see it catering to a bit of a younger demographic just on account of the sweetness that it possesses. Presentation, I love the graphic and I love the simplicity of it, and it keeps the costs low. My final verdict on this fragrance is I love it. I think it's a beautiful expression of caramel, coffee. It's sweet. It's not too spicy. It has some fruity touches, some warmth, some amber, some patchouli. Please try it. Thank you so much for watching. That was my review of Salty Choco Coffee by the Dua brand. If you own or have tried this fragrance, or if you have any other favorites from Dua, drop your comment down below. I always love the interaction. And of course, if you took anything of value from today's episode, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and also please give this video a thumbs up. It would really mean a lot to me. Thanks again for watching. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.